Brom en Ruis, die zijn ook too far gone. Ze zijn naar Londen, om precies te zijn. Vorige week hebben we geprobeerd dat telefonisch die afstand te overbruggen. Nou, dat ging niet zo geweldig goed. Dus dat doen we maar niet meer. Wat doen ze nu? Om toch aan hun contractuele verplichtingen te blijven voldoen. Ze sturen bandjes op. Nou, van de week kwam er een wat bezorgd kijkende man in een donkere jas. Die kwam eraan. En die had een klein zwart doodskistje bij zich. En wat daarin zat...
Good evening, this is London. I am on my way to the London Dungeon. Oh, it's quite foggy now. The ideal setting for torture, pain, and lots of horror. Would you like to come with me? After 8 o'clock.
Ja, dit zijn de kerkers van Londen. Voor mij staat een soort guillotine en naast mij staat de gids. You're Rosemary Hart.
Yes.
And you're going to show us all these jolly things.
Yes, I am indeed. Shall we start?
Yes. What did they do to him?
Poor St. George suffered a lot, I'm afraid. They couldn't kill him. He was put onto a crucifix, onto a cross, and scraped. His body was scraped with iron sort of tongs, and he was scraped, but he didn't die. Legend has it that they then sawed him in half. They cut him in half from head all the way down. They cut him in half, and then they dragged him by horse all around. That's how legend has it, that he suffered, and then eventually he died.
Ja. Nou, het komt er dus op neer dat St. George eigenlijk maar niet dood wilde gaan. Ze deden van alles met hem. Aan een kruis, allerlei onplezierige dingetjes. En uiteindelijk hebben ze hem dus van af zijn hoofd naar beneden in tweeën gezaagd. En achter een stel paarden aangesleept. En ja, toen is hij dus toch gestorven. Why was this?
Well, but he was in the Crusades. St. George was, presumably, we hope, was in the Crusades. But it really is a legend as far as anyone knows. There are no hard facts that St. George actually existed. But legend has it that he was tortured in really horrible ways. And that's what we portray here. And then...
Nou ja, het is eigenlijk een legende. En het was in de kruistocht, tijdens de kruistocht ongeveer.
to hate to fight. The Ripper, Jack the Ripper. Well, he walks down the street, and when Kelly meets, he says, "Is your name Mary Kelly?" The Ripper, Jack the Ripper. The Ripper, Jack the Ripper. When she walks down the streets of London late at night. The Ripper, Jack the Ripper. With his little black bag and his one-track mind. Jack the Ripper. Well, he really catches up when the lights go down. The Ripper, Jack the Ripper. 'Cause that's the time he starts his dirty shop around. The Ripper, Jack the Ripper. When he walks down the street, and the girl he meets, he says, "Is your name Mary Kelly?" The Ripper, Jack the Ripper. The Ripper, Jack the Ripper. Scotland Yard will never catch him, 'cause he's a much too clever. He's much too clever. But if they do, man, they'll catch the Ripper. The Ripper, Jack the Ripper. The Ripper, Jack the Ripper. When the streets of London can never say Jack the Ripper. Whenever Jack the Ripper ever shows his face. The Ripper, Jack the Ripper. So you pretty little girlies, take my advice. The Ripper, Jack the Ripper. And don't walk the streets of London late at night. The Ripper, Jack the Ripper. When he walks down the street, every girl he meets, he says, "Is your name Mary Kelly?" The Ripper. Oh yes, Mary. Where are you, Mary? I'm after you, Mary. Ha ha ha. With my knife, Mary. Ha ha. Sure. Ah ha ha ha. Where are you? Ha ha ha.
This is a scene of a prison cell. And as you look in, you can see the men have terrible contraptions around their necks and their hands. And what these did were they would not allow the victim to move.
Ze hadden dus, als je naar binnen kijkt, dat zie je dus ook, daar zitten poppen in dit geval. Geen echte levende mensen, maar wel met allerlei boeien om hun handen en voeten. En ze konden dus niet bewegen. They couldn't move.
No, if they were trying to move, the contraptions were so tight that they would break their bones.
Maar als ze probeerden te bewegen, dan het was zo strak, dat dan braken de beenderen. Armen en benen.
It's also possible for at that time for the whole. If a man was put in prison, his whole family would go there too, because without the man, they would have no income, no food, and the whole family would go with the man to prison. So it was common to have children and the wife together with the father actually in prison at that time.
Als er een man de gevangenis indraaide, dan ging de familie mee, want die hadden verder geen inkomen. En het was dus heel normaal dat er vrouwen, kinderen en ook in die gevangenis rond... But they weren't punished.
No, they weren't punished. No, they weren't. But it was just a case that they couldn't look after themselves outside.
Ze werden dus niet gestraft, maar buiten de gevangenis konden ze niet voor zichzelf zorgen. Dus ze gingen maar mee.
We have hung, drawn and quartered.
Hung, drawn and quartered.
That's right.
Opgehangen, verdronken en gevierendeeld.
The people would be hung by the neck. When they were not dead but semi-conscious, they would be knocked out.
Dus mensen werden opgehangen aan hun nek. En soms waren ze nog half bij bewustzijn. And then
they would have their stomachs slit open.
Dan sneden ze dus de buik open.
And their entrails would be burnt before them.
En de ingewanden werden dan voor hun ogen verbrand.
Then they would be let down. And the man, the executioner, would just chop them. Just chop them in quarters, in four.
Oh, dan werden ze naar beneden gehaald en de beul hakten ze dan in mootjes. Daar komt het op neer. How long took this procedure?
How long did it take? I don't know. I would imagine that it's very. This particular scene here, we don't recommend for children. And that's why we have the curtain down here, because it can be quite a bloody scene, and we don't want to cause anyone nightmares.
Has it been very often practiced in England?
Yeah, it was quite a popular. Yeah, unfortunately it was. They could also be hung with their insides pulled out and drawn round by a horse around the village until they were completely dead. But when they were hung, they weren't dead, as we know. If we hang people now, we hang them until they're dead, but they were just knocked out enough, but not quite dead.
Ja, ze hadden dus de aardige gewoonte om ze weliswaar op te hangen, maar tegenwoordig als mensen opgehangen worden, dan doet men dat om ze zo snel mogelijk dood te hebben. Maar toen was het vieren halen.
What a fuck.
Last night I was digging in the cemetery. Up jumps a man